Hello colleagues, this is Deering and I hope you're doing well. I'm greeting you the week after the board meeting where I'd like to share with you a few highlights in the video as I have started to do, but also speak to a few other issues that are affecting the college community. The board did meet last Tuesday, in which they both had a retreat and a meeting that night. But while they were meeting, there were also two other very successful events happening. First of all, Miss America was on campus at our Germantown campus talking about her pathway through the STEM industry and also thinking very deliberately about how one encourages students to pursue that course of education. And then secondly, our Alumni Association had its annual day festival, I guess you could say, at Dogfish Ale House fundraiser. I heard it was wonderful. I wish I had been there that evening, but I want to thank everyone who participated in both of those events to make sure we provided a different experience of both our students, our fans of the college, but also our employees. At the board meeting, a couple things did happen. We did have my monthly report, which will be posted on my website, that talked about the academic restructuring, and I actually ceded most of my time to Dr. Rye, who gave an update to the board. He was very kind to invite several members of the various task forces or work groups to come in and be recognized by the board. So I want to thank everyone for the hard work they've done in that regard, and really want to thank Dr. Rye for his outstanding leadership thus far in moving this process along. I'll also say the board, in their business action, revised two policies around internal and external audit, and then we also took some time to share with them the enrollment profile of our fall 2013 students. I think a very provocative document. I would encourage you to look at that. Our Institutional Research Office does an outstanding job of talking about the diversity of our student population, looking at everything you would like to know about them. So I encourage you to look at that document. In terms of our budget, as you know, this season in spring is always a very hectic one for several different reasons, but primarily right now we're in our prime advocacy season as it relates to requesting our budget for the next fiscal year. His budget will be announced on Monday, March 17th. Traditionally, you all, this has happened the Friday before spring break. This year it actually will happen that Monday of spring break. So keep your eye, if you can, on your email, check it while you're away, and I'd love to make sure you know what the county executive has recommended. The full council, though, will take up the Education Committee's recommendations on the college's capital request on March 18th. So a few of us, as you can imagine, are actually going to be working during spring break. Just to recap a few things that happened last week in regards to our budget, we did have our operating budget protocol meeting with the county executive, Mr. Leggett, and members of his staff. I want to thank some of our trustees who joined us, our chair, Mr. Reggie Felton, our second vice chair, Mr. Michael Knapp, and our student trustee, Shasta Stone, who attended. It was a wonderful time to recount what this community college does for the community and make the case regarding the bubble that is going through MCPS, our commitment to workforce development, and our commitment to access, and why we're so vital to the community. We also had a series of individual meetings to prepare for the capital budget and also to start to lay a foundation for the operating budget. I met with Council President Craig Rice and Council Member Phil Andrews, both on the Education Committee. And I'll also say that we spent some time in front of the Education Committee to present our capital improvement program. Lots of great things are taking place in our facilities, and I would encourage you to look at those so you can understand very thoughtfully what we're requesting. But I also was very gratified when we actually made our request to the Education Committee to hear all three of them speak so wonderfully about the role that we play in the community, and in particular, Councilmember Sherry Branson. She spoke eloquently about the importance of community colleges in terms of providing access to higher education. The rescheduled briefing before the Montgomery County delegation regarding our ACES program that actually took place on Friday. So several of us were in Annapolis, including a student who joined me and an alumnus of the institution who joined me, and Dr. Stu Edelstein, to talk about the pathway from Montgomery College to the Universities of Shady Grove. This week, some very important things happening. On Monday, actually, we have two very big ones happening. The University System of Maryland Chancellor's Council meeting will be taking place on Monday, and Chancellor Kerwin has invited me to come and talk about our ACES program, as he sees it certainly as a model for something we should be doing in the state. So I'm looking forward to that. And then in the afternoon, which is even more exciting, I'll be attending our Montgomery College Foundation's annual scholarship luncheon, where it will be taking place at the Marriott, where we actually recognize those philanthropists in the community who believe deeply in the work that we do to support our students, who provide scholarships for them. So we'll have them at this event. And then we also have students who are scholarship recipients joining. So I'm looking forward to really, that's probably one of my favorite events that we have at the college, because it brings and makes real this commitment we have to access, but it allows people to see the fruits of their investment in the institution. So we look forward to that. I thank you all so much for all you do every day. I'll see you next month, but also I wish you a happy spring break, should spring ever get here. And I want to thank everybody for everything you do every day for our students. Take care and be well.